How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Plus news does not stop rolling out. Now, this isn't anything that's too surprising, but it's still very much worthwhile to cover and talk about it, because with the upping of the price of PlayStation Plus Extra, man, Sony really needs to come out heavy with the games that they roll out to the service in the month of September, because the fact is, a bunch of very, very notable titles will be leaving PlayStation Plus Extra in September, so now is the time. With a price increase and these major games leaving, they gotta up the ante. And when you look at what the competitor is offering in Xbox Game Pass, and no, I don't expect PS Plus to be what Game Pass is. Game Pass is an incredible value. Like, it is a ridiculous value, and anybody taking a shot at Game Pass, you could be like, oh, it's bad for the industry, it's bad for XYZ. I'm talking about value offered to the consumer. That is what we care about. Game Pass is on another level. I don't care if it's $11 a month. It is ridiculous value. Ladies and gentlemen, they are getting Starfield, Lies of P, and Payday 3, three day one releases in the month of September. And what is Sony giving us? Oh, a price increase, Saints Row 2022, Generation Zero, and another game that I am forgetting right now. What is it? Black Desert. Black Desert, yes. If you want to jump into Black Desert, there you go. And on top of that, in the month of September, a bunch of games will be rotating out. Now, to be fair, games rotating out, that's just a reality of any subscription service. This happens with Game Pass pretty regularly. I think they're about to lose like a Danganronpa game on Game Pass. You guys know how I feel about Danganronpa. It's quite good. But it's still, you know, something worth covering, and some major titles will be leaving the service, so let's talk about them. Chicory, A Colorful Tale. I want to say that this was a Plus Essential game at some point. Don't quote me on that, but that's a really well-received game. Very, very strong art style in that game as well. Death End Rayquest 2, Deathloop, which is a major departure from PlayStation Plus Extra, especially because this is a game that was obviously published by Bethesda. Sony had an exclusivity agreement with this game. That exclusivity agreement expired. The game got ported to Microsoft's console, the Xbox, and it's on Game Pass. This game won't be leaving Game Pass because Microsoft owns this game now. At least that's how I would think it would work. I don't know if there's something else going on there, but Bethesda games should not be leaving Game Pass at any point, because Bethesda is now a part of Xbox Game Studios, and these games will live on Game Pass until they decide to change their business model. But as far as Sony goes, they still have an exclusivity agreement with Deathloop, or a licensing agreement, I should say, with Deathloop to have it on Plus Extra. Well, that licensing agreement has obviously ended. I want to say that Deathloop, probably they signed the deal in 2022 for the game to come to Game Pass. That's what I would think in September of that year, because that's when it got added, or maybe even before then, before the acquisition happened. I don't know exactly how all that rolls out. The timing is kind of interesting how this game got added to Plus Extra, because other Bethesda games are on Plus Extra as well. Like Dishonored got added. I don't know if all of those games are going to rotate out and then just live on Game Pass exclusively as far as the subscription service goes. That still remains to be seen. Nidhogg 2 is leaving the service. Steep has already left the service. My apologies for not bringing this to your guys' attention earlier, but hey, it is what it is. These things happen. Through the darkest of times, and then some Ubisoft titles. So what it looks like to me is that the Ubisoft deal that Sony and Plus Extra has is also expiring. A lot of Ubisoft games have been rolling into Plus Extra, excuse me, and I would imagine that because I want to say The Crew 2 recently left, which makes sense because Motorfest is about to come out, and now we have the departure of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, Watch Dogs, and Watch Dogs 2. I believe Watch Dogs Legion is still available in the subscription service. That was a recent addition, so I imagine that that'll stay for a little bit longer. I would also have to think that these games all got added with a 6-month deal or a 1-year deal. So Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection, and all the other Assassin's Creed games, I fully expect those games to leave the service at some point. It's a pretty penny. Like, let's not get it twisted. Assassin's Creed, think of it what you will want. It is a colossal IP, and to have it as a part of a subscription service, oh, Sony is forking over some serious cash to keep those games on this service, so don't expect those games to stay in perpetuity. And you're seeing that with these Ubisoft games, like a Watch Dogs, like a Watch Dogs 2, Wildlands. These games are expensive to keep on that service, even though Sony is raking in a ton of cash, and they're gonna rake even more cash, so I would expect the offerings to get better. But Sony here, we know what their game is. They want to make the most money as possible, and, you know, if the publishers themselves also see that Sony's upping the price and they're raking in all this cash. Okay, the asking price is gonna be a little bit higher now to have your game on said service. It's really a give and a take when it comes to things like this, but Sony, given that they're upping the price of Plus Extra to $135, there's a lot of things that they gotta do. First of all, these deals to have these games on the service, maybe look at extending them, because those Watch Dogs titles, those are relatively recent additions. Like, I remember reading the Watch Dogs 2 press release, or the press release in general for that month for Plus Extra, with Watch Dogs 2 getting added, and that honestly feels like not that long ago, and Watch Dogs 2 is now leaving the service, so maybe extend those agreements. I get it, like, when you're working with IPs like a Watch Dogs, even if it's not an Assassin's Creed, it's gonna be expensive to even get those games on Plus Extra. Assassin's Creed for sure. I would imagine that it's gotta be a 7-figure deal to get Assassin's Creed on Plus Extra. I'm just spitballing here, but just knowing how much money Sony is making off Plus Extra, 7 figures really isn't a lot for a massive franchise like that, but you gotta get those big IPs on this subscription service for a lengthier period of time, and ultimately, really, I think the biggest value offer that they could get is the day one games, and maybe, don't shoot me for this one, at the very least, first-party titles get a quicker turnaround on Plus Extra. Maybe first-party games get an early trial on Plus Premium. I don't know. We're all talking about this early access, buy the digital deluxe edition gimmick. Why can't you offer early access to Plus Premium subscribers? That's actually something that would be pretty beneficial, even though it's a gimmicky way of getting people to sign up to Plus Premium, because let's be real, it's just like blocking the game to people that don't want to sign up for an expensive subscription service. But just thinking about it, Sony, that would be pretty effective. Like, you can forward a check to my mailbox, but you know, I'm just spitballing ideas. Obviously, the best way to add value to Plus Premium would be adding PlayStation 3 emulation and a catalog of PlayStation 3 titles, but like, yo, I'm just expecting that not to happen. I just think Sony hates us, and we're never gonna get that. Even all our complaining, all our moaning, that's never gonna pan out, and we're never gonna get that, and we're just gonna have to cry in our PS3 game cases as well. But, yeah, day one games, PlayStation 3 emulation, and, you know, maybe, you know, thinking outside the box a little bit. Maybe offering, if it's not early access to the games, offer the trial day one on your Spider-Man 2s, your God of War Ragnarok, so people can play 2 to 3 hours of those games, and not, you know, not having to wait 3-4 months. Like, why are we getting 45-minute Hogwarts Legacy trials added, you know, 5 months after the launch of the game? It's just nonsensical BS that just makes absolutely no sense, given the premier price of PlayStation Plus Premium, which, by the way, is going up to $160 a year, so, like, it's not cheap. And, you know, games rotating out, like we covered in this video, that's just gonna be a regular thing that we're gonna have to accept. And I always hear people complaining in the comments, and I understand you're paying a premier price for this subscription service, but that's just something you're gonna have to accept. Like, games are gonna come in and come out outside of first-party games. First-party games should stay, but we all know Sony's greed knows no bounds. So as Spider-Man 2 is getting ready to launch, oh, you gotta pull Spider-Man from this service. It can't be there as a PS4 game. Let's put it on PlayStation. Let's put it on PS5 as the remaster version. Charge $50 for it. Like, Sony's been doing this stuff over and over again, and I gotta make a separate video just talking about it, because I feel like they don't get crapped on enough. And we are a PlayStation-centric channel, so everybody's gonna come at me for this video, but nonetheless, it has to be said. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.